So I wanted to talk about music composition and doing an album and all the things it takes to do that from start to finish. So in an effort to do that, I'm going to make this series of videos that are going to just go through the entire process from start to finish, from conception to mixing, mastering, and everything's done. Today is the 9th, and my plan is to do 9 songs, maybe 10. I have nothing written down, nothing figured out. I wrote down just a general plan of when I wanted to finish it and what things needed to be done when, and then a couple of things as far as what to do when it's done, because that stuff takes time too, like, you know, uploading and all that back end stuff that's kind of annoying that you could hopefully just pay somebody else to do, but I'll do that too. So the goal is to have the entire thing done by the 9th, November 9th. So 3 months-ish. I wrote down a general plan of instrumentation, which is going to be piano, guitar, clarinet, flute, mandolin, banjo, ukulele, and maybe some percussion if time allows, because that's the one thing I don't do very well. So I would either have to have someone come in or use samples if I had to. I don't want to, but if I had to, I would do that. The feel, the general idea is a pretty laid back, folksy kind of thing, like Iron and Wine, that kind of thing, acoustic stuff, you know, laid back. The plan is when I finish it, I'm going to donate all the proceeds to the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, so chop.org. The first thing I did was figure out if you use, you know, if you upload to Spotify or if you upload to iTunes or anything like that, if you can just automate that process so you don't even have to touch anything when it's done. When the thing's released, can it just automatically do that? And the answer is no, which is crazy. I have all my releases through CD Baby and DistroKid, and I spoke to both of them. DistroKid, you can do charity donations, but only ones that they've partnered with. And CD Baby, they don't do it at all. So you have to physically pull down, you know, if you set an amount, $50, $100, and then when you hit that amount by streams or purchases, you get a check in the mail or direct deposit, and then I would deposit that. So it's like one extra step, which is, it seems crazy that they haven't figured out a better way to do that, but whatever, man. So I'm going to do the best I can to document everything that I'm going to do. The very first thing that I do, whether it's orchestral work or anything really, metal, rock, any kind of thing I'm trying to write, I always start kind of the same way, which is just either with a notepad or manuscript paper, and I don't use an instrument to write anything for a while. I generally will sketch ideas down, either words or melodies in my head, just sitting here with a cup of coffee, and then I think of that like the same way someone has a blueprint for a shelf or something like that. When they go to actually building the shelf, there's some improvisation involved because of the materials or the tools that you have, or just your general skill level, or just, it's the same thing with music. You have a general vocabulary and you're going to hit some kind of a snag or some kind of thing that doesn't make sense, or think of a better way to do it when you're actually doing it. But for me, if I sit down and try to work, write and have the instrument in my hand, I just can't do it. Like I am limited by either what I can do on the piano or the guitar, and then that influences what's happening too much. Where if I do this, I generally will think of something that I can't play. And then I have to be creative to figure out a way to either play it or a solution, or it doesn't sound as good as I thought it did, and I think of a better thing to do. So that's generally how I do it. I guess some people don't know that you can write and like notate music without having an instrument if you have training in solfege, sight singing, or pitch recognition or anything like that. That's really, really a great thing. That's how I do everything now. It's just so much faster than I can think of something when I'm driving in my car, or I can think of something when I'm here, or when I'm whatever doing something, and either I will record it with a voice recorder and then notate it, or I can just notate it. It's that simple. I'll set time aside when I can, at least once or twice a week, to do just this type of work, to sketch things. And generally I try to do it in this room where it's quiet, but if it's not quiet, I'll do it somewhere else. And I try to get 16 bars to 32 bars of something written down. Most songs, I think, unless you're writing something really complicated, are going to be between 16 and 32 as far as the general ideas of the song, and then they're going to be repetitions of those 16 or 32, or they're going to be something that complements them, or something that creates some kind of a problem with the language you came in so far and has to be discussed, and those two things have to resolve each other somehow. And then that's pretty much it. I'll do that, and then when I get the set amount of songs I have written down, or if I'm just doing one song at a time, like the metal band I'm in, I usually do one song at a time, because I'm lucky that I can pretty much sketch it and write it and have it completely figured out, and then throw it at a band and then figure out what doesn't work and then change it. And they're really great for that, because what's in my head usually isn't the same as what happens in a room full of people. It usually turns out to be, sometimes it's right, but sometimes it ain't right at all. So it's good to have that. But for this project, it's completely on me. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna do it as fast as I possibly can, within reason. I mean, 3 months is pretty fast to write, record, and produce, do all that stuff. But it's not that fast, honestly. As far as lyrics, I pretty much do it the same way. I don't do it here because I don't do it here usually. There's a place I go to do it, and I just have a notebook, and I spend time just filling it up with ideas. I generally don't have a plan. I'm just very intuitive. I just kind of turn my brain off and start sketching things out, and then I look at it after I've done it and extrapolate some sort of a story out of it. And then I try to make rhyme schemes out of that, which is the hardest thing. And then I marry it to whatever I'm composing, and then I can sit down at the piano or the guitar or whatever the thing is, one of those two things, and then start trying to sort out what makes sense, what doesn't, and then go into harmony and all that, and then interesting things that the song presents, and how to highlight them or take away from them, or problems that I thought that I didn't notice until I tried to play it and sing it. That can happen a lot, where it sounds really great until you try to do it, and then it's like, this is really hard to do. So I think that's everything for day one. I think that's pretty much everything. So when I next sit down to work on this stuff, I will just make a video and share that too. So there you go. Thanks.